evening you saw me make 5 note cards using the Incolors and the Boho Indigo stamp set. And I did say at the end of that particular project that today we would be making a box, and we are still making a box. So this is the box, and rather than make it anything completely different from the project, I've tied it in with the design of the cards. So this one obviously matches the Magenta Madness card. It's exactly the same techniques, but I'm going to show you how I put the box together, how not to get this good little gather that I've got on the back because I didn't tie my ribbon tight enough, and also how I got it flaps on both sides, so that if you make these up in advance you can store them flat like so. So boxes like this will be good for craft fairs. Of course it's that time of year when people are looking to purchase Christmas cards, and usually they buy them in bulk, so these kinds of boxes are good for that. So this one, as I say, was Magenta Madness. Let's put this back together, and it'll fit more than 5, but I've done 5 for the purposes of this. I think last night I managed to fit all 10 of my note cards in, but not quite all 10 envelopes, so we're looking at maybe about 8 with envelopes perhaps. So if you can see, once I've got the envelopes in, there's still a bit of room in there, so you could certainly make more and fit them in. So this evening I'm going to use an Incolor that I don't use that often, and this is Cinnamon Cider. Out of the 5 colours, I'd say it was my least favourite of the 5, but it's still a really nice colour, so I'm not giving it the credit it's worth there. Whilst it is my least favourite, it's only because the other colours are so nice. It isn't my least favourite colour of them all, but yeah, let's get going. So you'll need a piece of cardstock that is 9 1/4 inches by 6 3/8 of an inch. As I say, this one's Cinnamon Cider. I'm just going to grab my scoreboard, grab that there, and I'm going to put it lengthways first, so on the 9 1/4 side, and there's a little bit of scoring to do with this. So 1/2 inch, 1 1/2 inches, 4 7/8 of an inch, and 5 7/8. And as you can see, that's where the cards will slot into the front and the back of the box, the sides, and then this will be our adhesive strip. If you then rotate it 90 degrees, and we're going to score this time at 1/2 inch and 1 1/2, and then we're going to rotate it 180 and do the same again, so 1/2 and 1 1/2, like so. So now you can see you've got your squares there ready to make the front of the box up. This will make our top and bottom tabs, and then we've got our sides here with the adhesive stick. So it is only one piece of adhesive that sticks this together, so it's very friendly on the old adhesive front. And if you don't get on with some adhesives, such as Tombow perhaps, or Seal, it's even better because you only have to use it once. So I'm going to burnish all of these score lines. Making sure we get some good lines on them. Well done then. Yeah. So while we cut this, so what we're going to do is, I like to bring the box frame together first to work out which sides I'm going to cut. Now, as you'll see on this one, this is the front. I prefer my lids to go from the front and close to the back, so then all the tucking away, all the seam is all at the back of the box, and the front has got a nice look to it. It's not that the back looks ugly, but it, you know, you want to hide your seams at the back. So what I do when I put my box together, I find my seam, and then that's there in this occasion. Flip it over, so I know I want to keep this section here. I want to keep these as tabs, and I want to get rid of this back piece. So what I do is I quickly just mark that up, and then we'll do the same on the opposite side of it. So I know I want to keep that, I want to keep these as tabs, and I can get rid of that one. So again, the easy way to remember is once you've marked one up, you mark the one that's opposite. Okay, so we'll get our scissors and we'll get this trimmed down. Or we will when I can find them. Here we are. So while I cut this, yeah, so get rid of those ones. So you've got a thin strip, and I've put that to my right, and then you've got a thin strip at the bottom and at the top. You've then got these middle inch strips here and here. You want to cut up the sides of those to the second score line here, like so. So up to the second score line, like so, and then you want to do the same at this side, up to that second score line here. On this very thin strip on the right, you don't need this bottom part at all. So there's a small square and there's a rectangle, and then there's that second score line. I'm just going to miter that off slightly and take all of it away, like so. You want to then do that again at the top. So you've got the small square, the rectangle, which is 2 score lines down, and we're going to miter that out and take all of that off. Okay, so then you have that. This bit will be the part where we stick our adhesive. So we've now got at the bottom 4 flaps. We're going to put the 2 rectangular ones out of the way. As you can see, there's the one that we've marked, so we'll be cutting that one off in a moment. On the squares, we have a small rectangle, and then we have a full square. We're going to get rid of that small rectangle completely on both sides, and then we're going to miter these tabs ever so slightly, not too much, because these are what will help keep our box closed. Just like so. Because I'm not rounding the corners on this box, these tabs that will go in the side will help to keep, if I show you, if we pull that round, these tabs will come in, and then this will tuck in, and it's when this tucks in, these help it to stay in, otherwise it just pops back open. So we're now going to get rid of the one that we've marked to get rid of. We're going to just cut straight along there. If you don't have any long scissors, or you're not confident in cutting a big piece all in one go, you could use your trimmer for that section. So then we've got something that looks like that. Last part we need on this thin tab here, because it's still square, it might just cause a little bit of difficulty putting it into the box when you're closing it. So I'm just going to miter that tiny little sliver of a rectangle on the end there, like so. And then everything we've done here, we want to replicate and do down here. So whilst I do that, I'm just going to remind you about the giveaway that I announced yesterday evening. So the giveaway is running for the next 7 days. It will be for a box of Sunshine paper pumpkin to the lucky winner. In that paper pumpkin there is enough material, a stamp set, embellishments, glue dots, dimensionals, everything you need apart from a block to stamp with as part of that prize. All you need to do is comment on the post that's now live on my blog. You'll see it, it's a big rainbow coloured balloon filled post. All you need to do is comment on that, or comment on any birthday party replay post that's on there. Every day when I do these lives, the replay post will be available the next day. Comment on any of those and you will get one entry into the draw. Comment on my YouTube and you also get one entry into the draw. If you place an order via my online store in that time, and orders and comments are applicable up to £23.59 on the 13th of September, nearly said October then, September, you will get 5 entries per order. So that's 1 entry per comment on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and on my blog, and 5 entries per order placed with me as your demonstrator. That's only applicable if you are in the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, France, Austria or Germany. If you have any questions regarding that giveaway, please let me know and I'll be happy to walk you through it. Right, we've got our final template there. So now we're going to get some glue. So I'm using my Seal Plus because it's card to card that we're sticking. Good evening, Gloria, all the way from Minnesota. How are you doing? Okay, so this is the 1 strip of glue that we need to close this box. I'm just going to fold that over, make sure it lines up when it meets, like so. Press that down. And there we go. All we need to do now is tuck the flaps in, put the lids in, and there we have our box. So we now just need to decorate it to match this one. So we'll do the base first. This base is done on a piece of Whisper White that is 3 inches by 3 inches, so it's the same as size as the cards themselves. And we're going to use the same technique that we used yesterday evening, so just clear some space. I've got my matching cinnamon cider ink and I've got my dauber, and all we're going to do is the same as yesterday evening. So if you didn't catch yesterday evening's project, get your dauber, ink it up, and to create that circle all we're going to do is in the middle of the card and we're going to circle outwards, and we'll get almost an ombre effect in our chosen colour. So we've got Cinnamon Cider here, the other one is Magenta Madness. I was tempted to go with Misty Moonlight, but I keep using the same ones over and over, so I need to spread my Incolor wings a little bit. So that's that. We'll pop that to one side a moment. And I have also got another piece of Whisper White, and this is 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. I don't know why I put my ink away because I still need it. So same as yesterday evening, Boho Indigo set, and we are using this sentiment at the top, a bunch of birthday love to you. We'll get that inked up. And then line that up on here. There we go. Pop that over there. And then we can now bring this together on the box itself. So on my cards, I did the sentiment on dimensionals, but on the box I'm keeping it flat. So like this one, I'm just going to get my dauber again and give it a bit of a sponge around the edges just to take the harshness away on the white line. Like so. I'm going to put another bit of seal on this. And then we're just going to eyeball this into the centre of our base. Like so. Before I put it on the box, I'm going to add the matching resin dot. So as you can see, I've only got one magenta left and one jade, one bumblebee. Hence my decision to go with a different colour. You can tell which one my favourites are, can't you? Need to buy some more. So flip this over, get some glue on here as well. And then, which way do I want as my top or my bottom? That way. And we'll pop this on the front. Just again eyeballing that into the centre. Like so. So now we need some ribbon, and I haven't got my ribbon out, so let's see if I can do this without knocking everything over. There we go. So I'm using the Whisper White seam binding ribbon. I've got mine here. I always glue dot the ends, otherwise my ribbon drawer at the top there just becomes an absolute mess of ribbon hanging over the side. And now you're going to see how I attempt to put this around a box. So I always go upside down. There is no, well, there is a method in my madness, I suppose, but always upside down. I don't know why, but I use the rabbit loop method of doing my bows. Does anyone else use the rabbit ear method? So I'll explain. 1 rabbit ear, 2 rabbit ear, and then it's hard to do this round a box, and then cross them over like so, push them through and pull, and then once it's done you can tidy it up. So I'll just make those loops a little bit smaller. There we are, and then trim. Just straighten that up a little bit. That's better. And this one, because of the way the ribbon's fallen, I'm going to pop on that side of the box. So now we can bring my cards in. Got 5 more envelopes somewhere, she says. Where are they? They're here. So 5 more of the 3x3 note cards. The 5 cards that we made yesterday evening are all done. So we'll pop them and the mini envelopes into the box. Like so. And there we have the 2 boxes. So how long have we been on this video? Coming up to 25-ish minutes. Yesterday's video, when we'd finished the cards, was only about 25-ish minutes as well. So in 50 minutes you could make all 5 cards, obviously without the chatting in between, so you could probably cut that down to a good 40 minutes, maybe even half an hour once you've got into the roll of it. But you can make 5 cards and the matching box and be done in under an hour with plenty of time to spare. Or if you're chatting with like me, or you want to do this as part of maybe you know, group session, then you know that even with chatting, it's a good 45-50 minute project. So yeah, that's the box to go with them. And now I'm going to give you a bit of a sneak peek as to what's going to be on project number 3 tomorrow evening. So we've done simple with our boxes and our cards. We're now going a little bit more up the difficulty tree, and we're going to be making this tomorrow evening. So this is a very old bottle, but it's one that I always use for wine bottle projects. It is one of the small bottles of wine that you can get. This one is a rosé wine, and I think I got it at Aldi for a couple of pounds. But what we've done is I've made a wrap to go around it. Sometimes the wine bottles and just the labels they have on them aren't very pretty at all. You can get gift bags for them, but it depends on how you're giving the present. If you're just handing it over, or if you're maybe leaving it on a table as part of a gift. So this one's meant as more of a table favour. Perhaps on the Christmas table you give each, you know, you decorate your bottles for the table, so on. This one is aimed at a thank you. So as part of lockdown, a lot of my colleagues, my team at my workplace, have had to go through unprecedented times, work at home when they've never worked at home before, and so I've been thinking of ways I can say thank you to them. This was one of them. So I'm using the Gilded Autumn Suite, the metallic ribbon from a combo pack, and the cutest acorn trinkets. I'm not sure how well you can see them. But tomorrow evening I will show you how to bring one of these together. If you want to craft ahead with me, you will need 6 pieces of DSP that are 1 by, testing my memory here because I can't find my page, 1 by 4.5, I want to say, 4 1/4. Yeah, 1 by 4 1/4. And then you will need a piece of cardstock that is 7 7 1/4, and then you can decorate it how you want, but I'll be using the majority of the Gilded Autumn Suite. As a quick recap, if you want to be part of my giveaway, please comment on any of my birthday party blog posts. They are specifically labelled up birthday party. There is one from yesterday evening announcing the giveaway, that one is included. Or comment on any YouTube post, Instagram or Facebook with the same. Anybody is applicable as long as you are from the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, France, Austria or Germany. That includes fellow demos if you do want to take part. If you do purchase from my store as part of the orders for the giveaway, where you will get 5 entries into the draw, please don't forget to also use the host code noted below. This will then get you into my club. I'm going to end that there because I've got a feeling my phone battery is about to go. Yeah, it's still there for now. But thank you all for joining me. Number 3 will be live tomorrow at 7:30, and I will see you all then.